Okay, the final segment with the moon and the forest floor. This scene is taking a lot longer than I thought it would. I've kind of forgotten how long a half sheet, half page, kind of full color, full, multimedia scene takes to do. Especially when you're coloring up like a lot of individual tree trunks like I was doing. The camera shut down at some point in time when I was shooting last night. But what I've done is I've applied another layer of reeds in the foreground here for some additional layered imagery. And this Buck Large stamp was sitting on my desk, maybe from a previous scene, and I thought, you know, this is like the perfect place to use them there. I left some room down here, so I'm going to try them right in here. Light, even pressure. Don't squash it, because a small image like this with, and those horns right there, you don't want it to come out like a blob there. Okay. Anyways, kind of provided the perfect opportunity right in there. It was like a stage with the kind of its leading actor positioned right there. All right, I'm gonna go into some misting effects, for lack of a better word, and let's start around kind of the lighter areas, going into my light source, kind of the implied light source, which is the moon, and kind of adding a bit of a glow around it. This moon is called Eerie moon, and there's already kind of a lighter feel to it, but this is just a way to go in and enhance that with some actual texture. Okay, and let's in the background on some of the background clouds. Okay, let's go and start adding some to the kind of the forest floor. Add some around these mushrooms, kind of at the base of the mushroom. And again, I'm kind of adding this, well, in that case at the base of things, but kind of starting where there's some lighter areas. It's where light meets dark, as far as the first positions. Because that's where it blends in the best, or the easiest, certainly. Okay, quite a bit of ink on that tip there. Let's take some of it off. Okay. And start blending some of it in. In the darker areas, I use a little bit more of a drier touch, giving it a more of a more translucent look. Translucent, where the background shows through a little bit more. Where it's more solid, that's more of an opaque area. Let's try something here. I don't know if I've done this before, but I don't know, it kind of makes sense. I'm going to use this mask here and create some layered fog in here as well. Let me see. Right here. It's like there's some mist kind of within the grassy area. But more of like a specific area rather than kind of a general area. Like there's some kind of rolling areas of grass and kind of the mist is hovering in the lower portions. And it's kind of reiterating what we've created with the masked out dye-based applications in there. And we'll smooth that out a little bit. And going into some areas a little bit more opaque. And I'm kind of waiting for that buck to dry off a little bit so I can add some around its feet to reiterate kind of the mist as it's hovering over the you know, the lower portions of objects. This mask is working out pretty good with this. Able to get into kind of some more, you know, very specific areas. Okay, ready or not, I'm going to apply some down here on the feet, legs. And I feel that's kind of interesting. I think having that buck in the kind of back in the mist add some additional illumination to these trees, or the mist around the trees. And this mist is just a little bit closer to the moon, so maybe it's capturing more of the, reflecting more of the light. Okay, I don't know. Let's even put it around some of these mushrooms. Why not? Okay, about right in here. Could use a little bit of lighting. Kind of get it really dark in there, which I kind of wanted it to for shadowing. But it did come at the price of some texture, so let's kind of go back in there and reintroduce some of that texture in there. Okay. Let's see. How about a little bit more in here? Something like that. Around the clouds, capturing some of that light. Okay, let's take a look at the, I don't know what that is, an elk, I guess, maybe. You see that mist around there, and those trees? Kind of coming out of the mist now. Around the mushroom. Around these trees in here. You can see that kind of background area right in there, capturing some of that light. Okay. Certainly a soft, light texture in the background. And let's go in and add our additional lighting. Very specific ones with some white gel pen. I can even kind of draw out some of the dark outline, you know, that defines the birch with the white gel pen. Kind of going along with the lines of the texture. This tree out here is a little bit more in the darkness, right? And these ones over here are very dark. So maybe I don't have as many highlights on them. Okay, and here's the moon on the sides of the trees, again facing the moon, so I'm doing it on the opposite side, on this side of the scene. And it's easier for me to access these trees on this side of the scene if I turn it upside down, so don't be afraid to turn your cards upside down, you know. I'm just kind of focusing in on an area. I don't need to have my card, right side up at all times. Okay. Alright, let's do the same thing on the mushrooms. And again, I mentioned the mushrooms in my friend segment 1, but the mushrooms, the caterpillars, and let me see, I guess that's it. They are from a company called 100 Proof Press, a company that has a lot of old, I don't know what they are, 19th century engravings. They have a lot of different types of stamps, but some of my favorites are the old engravings. A lot of tightly detailed imagery, and of course I'm one that really loves a lot of detail. Kind of giving this mushroom some texture too by doing these little dots on it. It's kind of cool. It's a little whimsical kind of a touch to it. Okay, this mushroom's getting into a little bit of the darkness right here, but there still is some light on it, so that affords me the opportunity for some additional texture. And I'm putting these little highlights on the side of the mushroom facing the light. Okay, going into some of the grassy area. Here's a mushroom over here. I'm going to put a little highlight on the side of it. And these little dots again, I always say this on every video, but I don't know if, this could be